Whoa, we are back with some more Sunday shenanigans. We had a big day yesterday, and we have a big week coming up this midweek, and not a lot of competition, so some rewards could be coming.
Yeah.
As always, Chris is here with me, and Jorge is still not feeling too great, so he's not going to join us. But he promised he'd be here on Wednesday, so we're gonna make sure that he does, or not Wednesday, Thursday. So we'll make sure he's here on that. Chris, how are you?
I mean, pretty good. I'm excited for this midweek because, like you said, we don't have a lot of competition. So this is where you thrive with some really dirty MLS cards. You don't have to worry
Yes.
about all the stupid PSV stacks. You can just kind of be K and get like a 350 and rake in some big rewards. So
Exactly. We can cruise this week. The
yes,
first time that I think we've been able to do that all year.
literally all year.
Yes, and it's gonna
Actually, I
be
think there was one midweek, like a Champions League midweek, where there was like half the teams. But
yeah,
yeah, I don't remember many opportunities for this so far. But we're into prime time now, so big
hey,
news.
this is we've been gassing up the end of PSV stacks and having to go against Super League and stuff like that, and now it's finally here.
Yeah, this is huge. This is why you buy MLS cards in the summer. In the summer is officially here.
Exactly. First of all, we gotta say what's up, Ahmed. What's up, and Mike Baston. It is late for you. It's not as late. We started a little bit earlier, so that's good. You won't fall asleep hopefully during this show. But yeah, so I think we should go over the games that happened yesterday real quick before we begin because there
Yeah,
was some shenanigans yesterday. And
craziness.
so yes, so let's get that pulled up and let's start off with a team that's not really looking the best. Atlanta losing at home to LAFC, and we got to see the beginning of Josh Cohen season hopefully, and I'm excited for that.
So can we just say what a weird week this was overall? As we get into LAFC, and this is a good example. No home teams won until the 10 o'clock slate. Like LA Galaxy come from behind win. Portland was up 1-0, then got tied, then came back and won. Other than those two teams, no home teams won. That is like bizarre in MLS
Yes,
circles.
that never happens. If you don't know, MLS is
Very weird.
very known for home teams being heavily favored, and I think it's like 60% last season was what it
Yeah,
was,
yeah, it's
and
huge.
yeah, it is insane. Definitely
Um,
staying up.
what holiday? Because I mean, we have
Yeah,
Memorial Day here in the States, but like, what's the holiday over there? Is it the
yeah.
same? Do you guys celebrate that too? That's crazy.
Uh, maybe I don't know. Mike, let us know.
Um,
But
so
that's good.
anyway,
You get to be there the whole time.
LAFC and Atlanta. Almada didn't start, which I thought was interesting.
Yes,
And LAFC kind of dominated most of it. I had it on in the background, obviously watching the DC game, but LAFC kind of dominated most of it.
yes,
Few chances for Atlanta. One or two that if they're a little luckier, probably sneak in.
yeah,
But I think the big story here is the Guzan red card, and I don't know if you saw that, but
yes. I did.
that was a bang bang play for sure.
Exactly. Yeah. If you don't know, Bogush, I believe it was Bogush, right? He was running to a
Yeah,
ball. I think he tapped it past Guzan, and then Guzan took him out, and they had to go to VAR, but ended up giving him the red. It was just outside the box. It was not a penalty. But then Josh Cohen comes on. I'm hyped. I bought my Josh Cohen, and everybody who else has been waiting for it. And then he concedes the free kick to Bogush immediately, just like knuckled it. I think maybe it grazed the
it took a
crossbar, but it went in.
deflection. It took
Is
a
that right?
deflection. Yeah,
Okay,
it
so it
was
wasn't
going
Josh Cohen's
top
fault.
corner, and then it took a deflection off the wall, and then he got a hand to it still, but couldn't keep it out.
So it wasn't Josh Cohen's fault. All right. So you can keep starting him, and he should start during the midweek. So that will be very interesting.
Did you buy any Josh Cohen, or did you already have
I
one?
I already had one. I bought one. Let's see. I can see the map and see when I got one because this. Yeah, look at that. Right before the first dip after the Open Cup,
So
and now he's
look at
back
my
up.
screen because I have the chart pulled up. Look at what I did. Watching live, bought the floor. Love to
Smart,
see it. Yeah.
smart. Yeah. So he's up. He's to a 13 floor now, and his rare is at $93. Wow. Here, I'll show it. 93
So
bucks.
my question to you is,
Oof.
does he keep this job permanently?
I don't think so.
Not give it back ever.
I don't think so, but I think this could be the chance for him to win it back. If he gets a clean sheet against Miami, then it's probably a different story. Yeah. Like spring break holiday. Oh, I wish we had one of those. Like, I guess we do have.
I mean, ours
at
is just
school we
called
have a week.
Memorial Day, I guess.
Yeah. Is there anyone I don't have? There's a lot of people I wish I did have. Chris has probably got all the guys that I don't have that I want, though. Like
I have a lot of players.
Yeah. I mean, I try to just buy smart and like not go in on crazy high players. And I mean, it worked out here at this point. Look at that line though. Wow.
I have 236 limited MLS players.
Yeah, that's why
just MLS.
I think I have like half of that, but then like 2/3 of that is sporting, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah. But yeah, so Josh Cohen, we're seeing him at the midweek. We'll see what he's really about. This is his first start, I believe, since coming to Atlanta. That is covered, to my knowledge at least. Yep. But yeah, I mean, everybody, from Atlanta, they're making stuff happen, but they just couldn't finish, and they had a lot of good chances at the end. Mata had a chance that ended up falling to I believe Mosquera, or no, it might have been Mia, but I forget. But he slid it just wide, and they definitely could have scored. But Thomas is pissed. I know Atlanta fans are very mad, and rightfully so. This team is, I think, on a just below Sporting's losing streak, and I'm mad, so I know what they're feeling.
Is it Pineda bye time?
It might be. It actually might be. What's his what's his chance? What's the chance you think he gets sacked within the next month?
For the next month?
Yes.
65 to 70%.
Yeah, fans are pissed.
I think
within the next
really high.
Yeah, I agree. I want to see him go for the sake of, Atlanta fans being happy, but then again, it's like,
what are you?
That's another team you don't have to worry about. But yeah,
to some degree, though, like, what are you supposed to do when Daniel Rios is your striker?
I guess, yeah. And did Gigi come off the bench? Was he even on the bench?
I don't think he was.
He was out. No, he's out. Yeah, that's right.
I don't think he was.
Yep.
So I don't know. I mean, it feels like Gigi could get sold, and then it feels like that's just kind of it from there.
Yes.
Like.
Exactly.
Almada gets sold, Gigi gets sold, and there's just no more talent on this team.
All right, let's catch up a little bit before we go to this next match. So Ahmed is asking, cheap, good starting goalkeeper. Can you suggest 3 keepers, please?
So are we talking about like long term? Because obviously Josh Cohen is in that mix.
I don't know. For $13 now, I don't know if I would go quite yet for that. Let's look. I'll pull up the list. And I can tell you.
I'm getting rankings pulled up too.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll sort by value, and he says cheap. So let's go like below 20.
Are we going limited 20. Here? Is that?
I'm just gonna go by limited price.
Okay.
But yeah. Okay. So I like Fry. I think. he has a contract through the end of next year and an option after that, and he's like pretty solidified. I don't see him going anywhere barring injury. He's good.
His contract is through the end of next year.
I believe so. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's through 20. I think it's through 25. Let's check. And it has an option too. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, through December 2025. So yeah.
Sean John, I think Sean John is easily the standout keeper from down here.
Yeah.
He's only 34. Still got a few more good years in him. He's on a decent team. They have no defense at this point, so he's kind of getting waxed a little bit.
Yes.
But 100% not his fault.
And a rare keeper for under $100 is hard to find too. If you are going for,
he's been big like for his whole career, so he's in the U.S. national team conversation still.
And this looks bad, but if you saw like first half, he was doing pretty well, but then both teams conceded a lot. This was a crazy game,
right?
But I mean, once you get down to this like lower price point, clean sheets are few and far between. But if he can get hot, he can definitely. I mean, we saw the output at the beginning of the season before he got hurt.
And he's on a good team, so you're probably getting a few more games out of him in the playoffs.
Exactly.
Toronto at this point is definitely going to make the playoffs. So yeah,
and matchups wise, those aren't horrible. And I believe Luka
Chicago and Nashville coming up. Like easy.
Gavron is not that expensive too. I think he's like $10. So
you can just get both and be safe.
Exactly. And then one more, maybe like. I would have said McMath. I always say Steve Clark is my favorite bang for your buck keeper, but he's hurt right now.
And he's
Oh,
also not bang for your buck as much in limited, at least. And I don't think
yeah.
so.
Now,
I do think
$13 is pretty good.
I also think he will not play again after this year. I think this is it.
Yeah,
Like his contract is up at the end of the year. He's 38.
Yeah.
So I think you're rolling with him to the end of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, as bad as they've been defensively, I don't think Maxi Crepeau is a terrible shout.
He did make some big stops against us last night. Now
goalkeeper, like talent wise, he's one of the better ones in the MLS. He's probably top 5,
yes.
and he's only 30 years old. So,
but his AA isn't great. That's the thing. I mean, this game obviously.
Yes,
but like,
Portland is terrible.
Yeah,
terrible.
I mean, look at this.
So,
If you also see this, this is him conceding 3 and still getting a 53. So like,
right.
if he's getting shots by him, he's gonna save them. But he doesn't really. I mean, he's not conceding like crazy. I mean, like 1, 2, 2, 2. Like it's not the worst. And I mean, like $18 for someone that's not, he's decent. And his rare is a little steep. I don't know about that.
He will be on Canada team duty probably in Copa. Doubt he'll. Well, I don't know if him or Borjan is the starter at this point, or maybe even Dane St. Clair. But he may not get. It may be a drawback on that side as far as he may not have utility over the summer with Copa. But
I would have said freeze about a month ago, because I mean, you and me hopped on the freeze train, and now everybody's on board. He's, I think, currently best keeper in the league.
The thing with goalkeepers, I mean, it's so up and down. Like 2 years ago, Crepeau was the top goalkeeper in the league by far. Yeah. It wasn't even close. Sean John has been the top goalkeeper in the league by far. It wasn't even close. Andre Blake's been the top goalkeeper in the league. So like, my view with goalkeepers in this league is, to some degree, kind of whenever they get hot and their price starts to get high, just sell them. Like, take the win.
Did you sell? Did you sell out of freeze?
I don't believe I have any freeze left. No.
I think I'm gonna keep, because he's insane and he's young, 25. I don't see, and he's super talented and he's got good matchups. Like, can't really complain. I'm gonna hold on to him. Yeah, it's a good limited keeper. I'd rather just dump all my Amelias and stick with him. But yeah. And then I could also just throw in Pools Camp, because he might have the job soon next year if Amelia doesn't renew, which is a possibility. Where is he at? He had a 53, I think.
That's a good point by Daniel Brubaker. Yeah. Kalina.
I'd sell.
Yeah, exactly what I'm kind of talking about is he's a guy that has never really been very good and is just on a good run of form right now. And
like, this is what
scares the hell out of me.
This is the real Kalina. This is
He's kept 5 clean sheets in a row, guys. Like,
that's not normal.
This is as high as he's ever gonna get. So, I mean, if you want to keep him, that's fine. But just know that you're throwing money down the drain if you're keeping him.
And then he also asked where Jorge was, if you didn't hear at the beginning. He is still not feeling well, but he said he'd be here Thursday. So let's hope he'll be good to go. And Orlando is not looking like the. I mean, last night they looked pretty bad, but they look better than like 3 weeks ago. So that's a plus. And then I wish I would have gotten a freeze Matthew card. Did you have a freeze Matthew card?
No, I did not.
Yeah. Do you know what that's referring to?
No idea. I'm so lost.
Okay. I'll pull it up in a second.
Did they backwards print one?
Yeah. Let me pull it up real quick. This is important that you see this. So this was, I believe, the 2020 cards back when he was at Philly. So I think like some of them were misprinted, some of them weren't, if I remember right. Matt Freeze. Was it the year before? It might have been the year before. No, I think this is it. All right, I'll find it eventually. It's fine.
Just a couple misprints.
Yes, there's a couple of Freeze Matthew ones. I think they might be rare from this season. Maybe. Yes, Freeze Matthew.
Wow.
So scoop your Freeze Matthew cards. Baller.
See, I do think there's a strategy, like long term, and this is a little bit off topic, but I think there's a strategy long term to have some of these young keepers that are not starting now and just kind of hold them forever. Because
Yeah.
like Freeze is a great example. Like everybody kind of knew Freeze eventually would get a job and would be pretty good,
Mhm.
and it just takes patience to sit on it for 2-3 years. But like he got his job within a couple of years, and I mean, there's plenty of other goalkeepers in the league that are kind of in the same boat to some degree. I'm pulling up
Here's
my
one of them right
keepers.
here. Baller.
Polskamp. Everybody knows Polskamp at some point is going to get that job.
Absolute baller. But Mealy's such
mhm.
a mainstay in the team. I doubt he gets moved unless he's out of the club.
Right, but like eventually, Polskamp, whether it's at Kansas City or somewhere else, like eventually Polskamp's going to get an opportunity.
Yes.
So it's kind of just
I think it'll be a KC. I think Mealy leaves. They use this season as a tester to make sure that he's good to go and then re-sign him. That'd be my guess. And
So
also, how much is there?
I'm a big George Marks fan. He was the goalkeeper at my university team, and was fantastic. And I think at some point he's going to get a chance. He's undersized. Excuse me, he's undersized. So he doesn't seem like he'd be great, but eventually, and he's like, you pick him up for literally nothing, and if he never comes good, like you haven't really burned anything, if that makes sense. But like he could be another one of those guys. Gavin Beavers is another one of those guys, although Gavin is a little more expensive now.
I think we could see Beavers start this year and take the job this year. Like
I don't know. McMath is pretty good. Like
at
another team. Well, yes, I get last night was not his best game, but at another team, I could see that potentially happening. I don't know.
Yeah,
we could just.
All right, we're sidetracking. We got to get back. We have so much to look over. We got to speed run these next. Do you want to do the 5 words or less recap for the next 2?
So who do we got?
All right, let's find it. So next game after Atlanta,
LAFC beat Atlanta. I got schedule pulled up if you want, or you can go through that one.
I'll just go through this so that we can look at the scores. But yeah, Charlotte at home against Philly, stalemate, and a very not fun to watch game from what I saw. Some early firecrackers, and then that was it. Like nothing happened. Yeah,
terrible game.
29. Elliott popped out 100 for the culture because why not? That's wild. 5-1 tackle. Yeah.
We knew this game would be defensive. It was even more defensive than we thought. But yeah.
Yep.
No.
And somehow Privet 34 with a clean sheet. That's wild. Oh, he got subbed off. Wait, did he?
Well, you also don't get anything for a clean sheet as a midfielder.
Oh, that's right. He doesn't have defender cards.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Trippin was on about that in the Discord. But yeah.
So
he did
boring.
Yeah, McMath did try to give Dallas a win. If you guys watched that game,
I mean, to be fair, Dallas tried to give RSL the win. So
yeah,
we'll get to that game, I guess, in a little bit.
Yeah, and then you are welcome, Ahmed. Any other questions you have, please let us know because we are here to help.
David Ochoa. Oh, don't speak that name here.
Oh God, scoop? Is it time to scoop floor?
Don't you speak that name.
All right.
Once they cover the MLS Next Pro, maybe you can.
Oh, sure. All right, here you go. Here's your boys.
Yeah, tough game. You don't like to see this at all. To be fair, I think Chicago probably slightly deserved to win the game. We didn't create anything the whole game. Just terrible, awful. Didn't start Peltola. Didn't care. Didn't press them. Just kind of let them have the ball and sat back and didn't really do much.
Whoa, 11 duels or 10 duels lost. What happened?
I mean, this is pretty normal. He just gets into a billion duels every game.
I guess that is true.
Sometimes he wins and sometimes he loses. But the more concerning thing was I don't think he missed. At least I don't remember him missing a big chance because I don't think he created anything.
No, yeah, he didn't.
Or
he didn't.
We created anything for him. So, tough, real tough game. Defense is still like DC's defense is not good. The center backs are really, really not good. And Peltola is the only good defender that they have, whether he's a center back or not. and they decided not to start him again for the second straight game in a row. So that's not no bueno. Chicago's bad too, to be fair. They were plenty of opportunities that DC's backline gave them, and they didn't really take advantage of them. So I thought a draw was probably a fair result in this game, but like bad signs for both teams going forward.
Yes.
Like not good.
And Mike, listen to your advice. He's hopping on the George Marks train.
Yeah. I mean, it's worth a punt, you know? A shitty card that you're not going to use anyway. I mean, you might as well, if you're going to stack like worthless cards, stack young goalkeepers, because like you never know. Like if one of them eventually starts, then you're good to go.
I also don't know if I ever mentioned this to you. On Thursday night, I scooped a new card.
Ooh, that's good. He's really good, to be fair. I don't think he played very well last night, but
I liked it. When I was watching it, he was making some really nice passes. But I think once the decisives start coming, he's on all sets. Like we'll start seeing big things, and I like it. I don't know if there's anybody else for that price that's really that good.
Yeah, so no, I agree. I think he's got a lot of upside.
So yeah, the Fire looked atrocious this game. By the way, I don't know how they ended up. Both teams didn't really look good at all. Brian Gutierrez, though, he did play well. From what I was watching, he did look really good.
Yeah, but I honestly, Kuipers was probably the best player in the game for me.
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, he got involved so much. He looked a lot more involved this game.
He was trying his heart out. Like there's nobody else to help him. Like Goody does his best, but
he has no service. Yeah,
has no service, and that's just kind of the player that he is. So,
that's not. I mean, 58. If he can start going if he gets service, if they make a transfer, that could be big.
But, I mean, they got to make a couple transfers, to be fair.
Yeah, Shaqiri is probably gone, but yeah. All right, so 1-1, somewhat uneventful, but yeah, both teams
was not an entertaining game at all.
Yucky game, yeah, exactly. But this was a somewhat fun game. First half that I watched of this game was very entertaining. Montreal versus Nashville, although it was 0-0, we did see a huge performance from Huan and Joel Waterman.
Should he have been sent off in this game?
He did get sent off due to injury at the end.
How dare he?
Yeah, but he made a clearance. I did watch that live. I was very happy because I had him on my watch list, which we'll go over at the end of going over these games. But yeah, Huan, huge game too. Love to see it. Nashville just sorted their defense playing well. They don't have McNaughton anymore, and Mayer's kind of slotted in and done really well. So
thank God.
Yeah, I mean
McNaughton is terrible, and Mayer is actually competent. So
exactly, and we have no Shenanigans in the center backs now with no McNaughton. But yeah, I think Montreal
is McNaughton hurt, or did he just get benched?
No, he got hurt, knee injury, I believe. Yeah, well, but yeah, Nashville looks decent. Montreal looks decent. Both teams looked like pretty good in this game, but no goals, so it's not fun, right? No goals to MLS. There's very little scoring this week. This is very weird. I don't know if I liked it. But now we get to talk about.
Hold on, before let's hit Daniel's comment here real quick.
Oh yeah.
So are the prices inflated because of Euro ending?
Yes, people coming over to MLS, there will be a little inflation. Not much, but definitely a little bit. Like I can see it with new season, especially. Like it's definitely from shopping 2 weeks ago for a defender, new season. I never picked one up. Now trying to pick one up, it definitely like 30% more expensive. Like Waterman was $3 new season 2 weeks ago, and now he's like $6-8. It's kind of wild.
Yeah, I sold mine.
Should have knocked that off you.
But to be fair, you can go from Kalina to Sean John and make like 60%. So.
Exactly. Yeah. And then Sean John,
it's definitely. I mean, like all the prices are up some, but like my point is more like relative to each other. Kalina is way too high compared to some of these other guys that are more established and more like consistently long-term good. So
yeah. And Sean John also, he did get called up to the U.S. squad, so we won't see him much this summer.
True.
But yeah. So we go to this game. This is a good one. I watched this one. Barrero looked really good.
Barrero is really good.
He's very good. He came back from injury, I believe, like in the Miami game. Started the last 2 games, and he's looking really good. Youngster that was bigged up when he was healthy, then got hurt. Now he's back, and second game starting, and he looked really good. He's making stuff happen up top, and that's what New England needs.
To be fair, I don't know that he's great on Sorare. I don't think he does.
Yeah.
He's kind of Quinn Sullivan like.
Exactly,
he's very good in real life, but he doesn't really score well on the Matrix.
Yes.
But it opens up Carlos Heel a lot.
Exactly.
So I think Carlos Heel's really a big winner from Barrero. If he's in the lineup, Carlos Heel's a lot more valuable. Also, Shankalai went down real early, like 8 seconds in or something, 80 seconds in, something like that. He tried to play through it, couldn't, had to come off in the 11th minute. So Bayrak Terovic, at least for a little while, it's Bayrak Terovic season.
I love Bayrak Terovic.
Big news.
Yeah.
So between him and Barrero, I think this is actually I think this may be as cheap as you're going to get Carlos Heel for a little while. Like, I get he's 61, but he's only $30. And I think he's going to start pumping. He's going to start getting the decisives in.
That is wild. He's $31. How much is this rare? It's probably like 200. Yeah.
So going back to Daniel Brubaker's point, you could sell Kalina and get Heel and Sean John, and I'm 100% on board with that.
I'm going to look at Heel now. I'm not going to lie. I did not know he was that low. He was like 60 not too long ago. 3 months.
His rare is still at 240, by the way. So like the rare people that have been here a while, they all kind of realize that this is still Carlos Heel.
That makes sense.
Yeah, limited. He's definitely way too low limited.
I'm gonna look into that. I appreciate you bringing that up.
Yeah, and especially if they can get Barrero and Bayrak Terovic and have some resemblance of an attack going forward, he could be really good.
I might trade out of my Hector Herrera and try to get him. Let's move on. But that's a great pull. But New York. This is just a Matt Freese legacy game, basically. Put his heart on the line. Big saves early or late in the first half. Kept out a couple shots, but Santi doing Santi things, no decisive. Tavon Gray, that's his second good game he's had in a row. I think he's
pretty good.
He's gonna start, and so 90 and a 74. I like him. Him.
He's a good player.
So I would look at maybe Scudas. Like, this is not that bad, and the amount of and again defenders, we went from having a lot of defenders last year to not as many this year, like options. And so if you can find someone like this who can get involved attacking and like scores decent AA, might be worth a look.
We've also got San Jose in the midweek. So
exactly. Yeah. Is that true? No, that's weekend. That's next weekend.
They're not playing midweek. That they've got San Jose in.
Hey, but that means they can rest up and they'll go against a tired San Jose team.
Right. Exactly. Nashville coming up, Orlando coming up, Montreal coming up. They got a decent schedule, which is crazy because they've had a decent schedule for like a while. So I don't get it.
Yeah, exactly. But So this game, New York poached it late. Keaton Park's header, and so New England still hasn't found the winning column consistently quite yet. But New York City, they're looking good. Do you have the standings pulled up? Can we see where they're at?
I do. They are in third right now, chasing the two big dogs. So they're just the next team. And to be fair, eventually I think Columbus is just better. But I mean that's kind of like they could be that team that's 4 and gets that home game in the first round. That's big for them.
That's wild. Columbus was like 9th 2 weeks ago, and we all questioned them, and now they're right back up.
Yeah, I wasn't questioning them.
Yeah. We got a couple. So Jono, Bouanga did me dirty. Yeah, he didn't do too great. I think he went down with something. I think he played through it, but at some point he went down. Time to let Gray with Freeze. Yes, I needed a defender with Freeze. I've been going Thiago Martins, which paid off this week, but now Gray could be a legitimate option, and so I like that a lot. And up with, but New York City looking good. Moving on. Ooh, speaking of Columbus, getting it done. Jorge was not there, but he was not happy no matter what.
And they didn't rotate, which surprised me pretty heavily.
With Columbus?
Yeah. I thought we'd see a lot more rotation. So they threw out this lineup, and I was like, well, best of luck, Orlando, because it's not going to go well for you.
Yeah, I thought they were going to rotate too. I thought this was going to be Orlando kind of cleaning up, but it was not. Araujo just pushed over Aiden Morris in the box, and then Orlando went down and got a penalty during the same like flow of the game, and then they called back the Orlando penalty, Columbus penalty on the other side. Rossi took it. But yeah, I mean, I picked up a Cherburko as soon as I saw Amundsen not in the lineup because I know the downfall is about to begin. So yeah, he's already. I insta bought him because there were barely any limiteds, but yeah, he's going up. But I'm a fan. I think I'm switching over to Cherburko from Advinson. And apparently Columbus fans think that Cherburko is better too, which gives me hope. And he should start in the Champions League too, so I can run him when they do that. But yeah,
will you want to start him in the Champions League final against a Liga MX team? I don't know.
I mean, he's gonna get AA, so
maybe not.
I mean, he did well against.
He might. I mean, that seems like a really tough
maybe
matchup.
not there, but they're 46 at home. Yeah, when they're at home, I'll start him. Away, obviously not. You never.
Well, there's only one more game, and it's away.
Oh, okay, so, never mind. I'm not going to start him.
Yeah,
but yeah, he's pretty good. He's a good card, and Orlando might be back in the mud a little bit. But as they keep starting Nico, they might have a chance because I'm on the Nico Ladero train.
As long as they're starting Nico, you know they don't have a chance.
All right. Next up, we got this. This was a fun one. I don't know if you got to tune into this. Toronto versus Cincinnati, the return of domination Insigne. We got to witness it last night.
Yeah. So I was trying to determine what do I want to watch. Just my third game on the screen. I was like, Cincy Toronto seems probably pretty good, but I feel like that's going to be a defensive game. I'm going to watch LAFC in Atlanta, and that didn't work out at all.
All right.
Insigne doing Insigne things, gets two decisives and really should have had three because the own goal is really him.
Yes.
So yeah, Insigne does the things and he's great. And as long as he's healthy, Toronto have a chance. I think it's more impressive is Cincinnati scored 4 goals in this game, which is just insane. Like I get Toronto is not good defensively, but I didn't know they could score 4 goals, to be fair. Like they haven't done it all year. The first time that Cincy gives up more than 2 goals in a game with Celentano starting, and they still win the game. It doesn't matter. It's insane how good this team is. They haven't skipped a beat, even with Bupenza being in the UFC. They're just racking up points, man. It's crazy.
Why do you fight a boxer? There's no point for you fighting a boxer.
They're literally ahead of Miami in points per game, which is
wild.
Crazy. They're 6-1-1 on the road this year.
It is
stupid good.
Insanely wild. Yeah, since he's been fantastic. Celentano, though, his price tag is getting up there. It's going to be interesting. Like 62 floor. He isn't minted. He is U23. Mm-hmm. I prefer Schulte just because he's half the price. And, I mean, Columbus's defense.
I think they're similar, but Celentano is more talented. Like, yes. I think Schulte's in probably a slightly better team, although it's tough to say that. Actually, yeah, to be fair, I guess Celentano is probably in just as good of a team. But I mean, Celentano as a goalkeeper himself, like long term, is just better than Schulte, in my opinion.
So can we play Columbus like cards in Challenger because they're not in MLS? We can't. Do you know? Or should we find out?
It's a good question.
I'll pull it up.
I think you can't. I don't know. Yeah, Jono has a good point too. 4 goals for Cincy and Lucho gets nothing, which is even more crazy.
Yeah, that is insane. Do you get AA at least? I mean, a tiny bit, but yeah, that is kind of wild.
Yeah, the fact that they just Flores annihilated Acosta and Cincy still just crushed them. That's crazy.
Yeah. Flores was on him the whole time, as we expected, and he even got a header off an Insigne. Yeah. He slipped on the corner. I don't know if you saw the goal, but Insigne slipped taking the corner. It fell to Flores like halfway through the box, and he put it back post. It was fantastic.
Doesn't matter. Yeah, he doesn't have to be on his feet to deliver perfect balls.
And then Sergio Santos shushed the crowd more than any player I've ever seen in my life. In that. But yeah, all right. Let's get a check on to see.
I was doing rivals in this game. Somebody got taken off early or subbed or something. It wasn't Spicer.
It was
Um,
Spicer. He got subbed off. He gave up
well,
a
he might have been Spicer, but I wasn't playing Spicer. It was somebody that I was playing in my lineup that came off early and like, oh no, it was whoever had the own goal, Ian Murphy. So I
oh
had
yeah.
Ian Murphy in my lineup, and I was like, I should make a sub. And I went and looked at the subs, and I was like, I just don't really like any of these guys. And I was like, I guess maybe I would go Sergio Santos if anybody, because like maybe he
Yeah.
gets a decisive. And I was like,
He's
it's
fast too, yeah.
probably not worth it because it was a close game and like I didn't want to take off the 20 points from Ian Murphy, and he had a few duels won.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a mistake, but I still won, so it's okay.
Hey, yeah. As long as you win, you're good.
Yeah,
That's all that matters, isn't it? But yeah,
Rosted had a 0, by the way, according to
That's
Jonah Nesbitt, negative 38 AA, which is
he's like Frimpong. Remember Frimpong I
yeah,
showed last time? Yeah,
that
that's
is difficult to not have a decisive down and get a
yes.
0.
I did just check that, and Mike is correct. You cannot use anybody that is playing in card chain means living
And
challenger. I should have known that before, but it's fine.
1 penalty area entry, so he was positive in the attack, but just terrible defensively.
Yeah, Sean John killed one of my lineups. I think I had like 4 decisives, like a decisive per in my other 4, and then he just did that. But it's fine.
Yeah, you love to see it.
Next up, this is a good one. I got to watch this one, and I enjoyed it. St. Louis playing against Seattle. The counterattack for Seattle really showed. The slow defense for St. Louis really showed. Morris just tapped it around Tim Parker and just ran, and Tim Parker started yelling at him while he was about to score, and then he just slotted it in. But
yeah, Seattle back? Question mark. Maybe
a little bit. Winning at St. Louis is a little bit easier than it was last season, but it's still pretty hard, and getting it done is very interesting. I also did pick. This is another play that I picked up without telling anybody or without telling you. Stephen Fry.
Only their second home loss this season. But yeah, yes. I mean, I think Seattle away from home has 3 wins this year, which is pretty impressive.
That is impressive.
So I mean, they're terrible. They're 1-1-4 at home, but they're getting it done on the road. So Seattle, if they can figure out their home form, could break their way a little bit.
And we also saw the return of Edward Leuven coming on and getting an assist, and
big time.
He can be a big time player for Sorare, especially. He does pretty good AA.
And he is $5 right now. So
yeah, and his limit I think is 50. Oh, 34. Never mind.
Yeah. Seattle stack for Mike, his comment there. I think the Seattle stack is mostly back. I don't think it's quite as like dominant as it was before, but it's definitely playable again.
Yeah. So I picked up a stack where it was Rusnak, Rui Diaz, and yeah, that was it. And then I sold him immediately and bought Brugman Joveljic. So I'm not sure. I won a reward with Brugman Joveljic first game, so we'll see.
I think your stack is Rusnak, Roldan, Morris.
Yes.
And then Yamar. And
I would go Reagan over Yamar, but that's just me. I think Reagan bigger booms here. I'll pull it up.
Maybe.
And 95%.
Yamar in his heyday had some massive booms.
And he had the goal upside too because he'd go up on corners. Right. But yeah, I think Reagan this season's a little bit better.
It's possible.
And with rotation, Josh Bell is hurt, so I don't know if we'll see or John Bell, not the baseball player. John Bell. He's hurt. He got hurt in the Open Cup. But yeah, Yamar's been questionable. Like clean sheet 39 is not great. But yeah. Seattle, I hope they're back, especially for my Fry. I'm about to buy a rare defender, and I'm gonna go with one of these two. I still haven't decided which one, but yeah. All right, next up we have this is another good one too. Minnesota choking a big lead. And Robin Lod, he's crazy. He is a crazy man. I don't know if you've been paying attention, but he got a
I've got one. Don't worry.
Oh yeah. My rare for him is just grow, and I bought a limited too. Yeah, they're just growing exponentially. Let's see, where's the rare? So yeah, I got the rare there, and now he's up. He's crazy. I feel like he's still decently cheap for what he can score. Obviously, his AA is not insane, but he can get some, and he's involved for sure. He's involved. But yeah, I think he was subbed off tactically because they thought they were going to hold the lead, so they brought on someone defensively and just choked the lead quick. 98th minute goal conceded, not good. Yeah, Colorado didn't look great defensively. Bombito looked like he was not looking great, but yeah.
Yeah, I didn't watch this game at all. I did see Kevin Cabral had a little bit of a game. So my God, if they get some production out of Kevin Cabral with Georgi Mihailovic and Cole Bassett, then Colorado's gonna be a tough one.
They might be good. So he's saying Thomas Assault. That name does not ring a bell to me. Do you recognize?
Yes, he was the goalkeeper that that Vancouver traded Maxi Crepeau to LAFC for, because they wanted Hasal to start. He's still only 24. He's still in the Canadian national team setup to some degree. If he's another one of those guys that we talked about this at the very beginning, where you just kind of stash these young guys. Like Hasal at some point will get another chance in the MLS. And he, well, maybe not even in MLS. It's at some point. But at some point, he's going to get another chance. And at some point, he's probably going to be worth more than the 77 cents that he's worth at the limited level right now.
Hey, people are buying. Look, recent.
Yeah. I mean, I think with him getting released, that kind of opens the door to possibilities. And I think that's a good thing for him. So,
hey, Thomas Assault, big prospect. I did not know about him. Now I do.
Yeah.
See, we learn on here.
And he's 24, so I don't know if he's got somewhere he's going as of now, but if he goes to a covered team, it could be a good news.
All right, let's speed run a couple of these games so we can get through, because we still do have another entire half of the show we need to get to. So let's go to LA Houston. I did not watch this. It seemed pretty boring. Houston went up quick from a mistake, and then LA just scored 2 in the second half. Am I missing anything here?
Yeah, I think LA's just better. Ricky Pooch doing Ricky Pooch things. Yamane got the decisive. So, yeah, I mean, I think this is just LA just being better, and despite Houston getting a little bit lucky at the beginning, they still are able to come back and get it done. So,
yes, and Sviatchenko getting it really done. He got an early last man tackle and just went crazy. Yeah. And Tarbell held his own with no Steve Clark. I don't know. Are we seeing Steve Clark? You think we'll see him next weekend?
I don't know, honestly, the injury update on Stevie, but hopefully, I mean, they need him back, because Stevie is big news for them. Like he does do a lot of the dirty work that they need help with.
Yes.
Good point by Jono too. Jalen Neal didn't start in this game. Didn't come on either, which was very confusing.
That was interesting,
because he's their best player. Like, let's just be honest. He's awesome.
So my question is, with everybody saying Clark's going to be on, who replaces him? Is it Tarbell, or do they find someone?
No, that'd be one of those open jobs where they'll go get like a Matt Freeze, or like New York City when Sean John left, right? Yeah. They actually gave, what's his name, Barraza.
Yeah.
They gave Barraza the job initially, which was a big mistake, because they got Freeze and didn't let him play for the first 6 months.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think there's a bunch of backup goalkeepers in the league that deserve chances, and I don't know that Tarbell's one of them, to be fair.
Yeah, he's still he's not old yet, but he's definitely going to be there soon.
Yeah. This is kind of prime for goalkeepers. Like 30 to 33 is really like the best time for them, I guess.
And MLS goalkeepers have longevity too. So he definitely has enough time to try to maybe, become something, but I don't know if it's going to be with Houston.
Right.
But yeah, where are we getting back to this? Yeah. So pretty straightforward. I think we all expected LA to win, but yeah, 2-1. Bossy still looking good. Midfield still playing decent for him. This is about as we expected it to go. So yeah. Also, Jovic got to step up. Come on, we need something from you.
Be careful with Herrera and Artur when they should be overmatched. Like, against bad teams, I think those are great players, but against good teams, they're not going to rack up AA. So exactly. Just be more careful with them.
Why couldn't Assault turn up Houston, dude?
He definitely could.
Yeah, he definitely could, but just didn't.
I'm trying to look up where he is, because it looks like he hasn't had a team this year.
Yeah. Glad I got rid of my chance Tarbell. Yes. Let me find it.
Yes, big time.
I did the little thing where you camp news, scoop the floor and then sell. And so
Yeah,
that's
easy money.
Yeah, free. That was within 4 days. So yeah, there you go. And I don't know what was he at now? Floor $44 or 63 up here. But yeah, still. Yeah. All right, next game. We have I'll keep this one short and sweet. We had a lot of possession from what we came in thinking maybe we get dominated at Portland, but they scored a Felipe Mora header, I believe, back post. Memo responded with some good tiki-taka football. Polito looked really good this game. I will say that. From how questionable he's been all year, he was really involved, and I really like when he's like that. So I hope that he becomes, back to his prime form. Main story for the sporting side, Eric Tommy went off with an injury in the 18th minute, and it did not look that great. Getting subbed off is never a good thing. We're not going to see him at the midweek, probably not next week. With our injury circumstances and how mysterious we keep it, I hope that we find out what it is. But for now, just probably think, give him like, I do not. What do they have is here? 528. No, that's probably not right. But yeah, I'd say multiple weeks if I had to guess. So I would roll out Memos because he'll be the attacking guy from now on. Redoya will stay. Felipe Hernandez. Now here's the thing with Memo. He got a yellow card. Yellow card accumulation has hit. So we have one healthy midfielder because Remy Voltaire is still hurt. We're going to play Felipe Hernandez. The question is who's going to be that third guy. I think we bump Polito down to the 10 like we have been in past games and bring in Agata. That would be my guess. And if we don't rotate, it will be interesting too, because we have a lot of games coming up. And so I can definitely see rotation. I can see maybe a Frifa coming in for Russell or, Jean-Yves even coming into this midfield and Castellanos getting in for Rizzo. It's going to be really weird. Pulse could even start. It's going to be weird. But yeah, Portland's pretty good. Evander played really well. Can't complain if you're an Evander owner. What's he at now? What's his price? 24. Yeah, he's been class. Yeah, this is great. But yeah. Any notes from this? Did you tune in at all?
I did not tune in at all. I think you gave a much more complete picture than I would have. So
yeah. But yeah, that's all. Sporting probably cooked because our matchups upcoming. If we can't win these games that we've been playing, I don't know what makes us think that we're gonna win. Whitecaps at home, maybe. Minnesota away, no. Sounders at home, depends. LA away, no.
Seattle's been a good away team.
Yeah, Salt Lake, no. Columbus, no. Austin, this is our chance right here. These 4 come back
in another month and a half.
Look forward to it.
Sporting's got 7 points.
Mark the calendar.
Yeah.
Hey, San Jose wouldn't have gotten any points either. So yeah, but yeah, we're not in the best situation, but we'll move on. We'll win that Open Cup. Knock on wood. But yeah.
So
we got.
Hold on. I have to evaluate this somewhat before I put this up here. So I got a offer.
Okay.
And I want your opinion on this offer because I think it's probably a pretty good offer. All right, you can throw this up here and we'll just live evaluate this. So Lewis Morgan for Hugo Kuipers plus $5. Midfielder for forward.
So you sent that or they sent you that?
They just sent me this. Although, they canceled it. Wow, they canceled that really fast. But like decent offer though,
Let's see. Rare 64. Kuipers was what 50 something?
Yeah, it's in the neighborhood value wise.
Yeah, that's not horrible.
I think Kuipers is really undervalued and Morgan's probably overvalued. So
yeah, I would have
probably an interesting offer.
I don't know. Yeah, Morgan's. I don't know. I think he's overrated. But yeah, had Evander captain in D2. Never doubted. Yes, he did really well. Shout out to anybody who have him or who has him and played him because he is going to bang hopefully all year for you. Oh, we only have 2 more left. Perfect. Austin, San Jose. Didn't watch this either. Seems pretty boring. Anything else? I mean,
You gotta
Stuver did Stuver things.
Pop up your screen.
Oh yeah, Abobasi scoring.
Boba's
Espinoza
back
getting
from the
assists.
day.
Yes,
Yeah.
Espinoza's been doing pretty well for himself this season with the situation that he's been given. Yeah, this is pretty good. Couple of iffy games, but I mean, he is. I think they're around the same price as Cleach. Yeah, and it was between him and Cleach, and I picked up Cleach. So
Yeah, I think that's a good choice.
yeah. Austin, decent. Rubio AA is kind of crazy. Stuver is still going to make saves. That's what he does. He be making saves. But yeah, I believe this game was extremely boring. If you have any other comments on that, say them now or forever hold your peace.
Would not have wanted to watch this game,
Yeah.
and I'm glad I did not.
Doesn't look like much AA, but Rodriguez he's starting to come back. That's good. He was a expensive option at the beginning of the year, and he's starting to bring some scores back. So that's good.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Final one. Should have been the biggest one, but
doesn't even matter.
Yeah. A couple of guys didn't want to play, want to kick a ball around.
Didn't even want to fly. Like, just nah. I'm just gonna take a vacay in Miami. And
yeah, doesn't matter. Robert Taylor and Campana got it done. Jordi Alba, I picked him up. His limited before he came back from injury, and I mean, 2 games back, 260 pluses. I don't know. I think that's, I mean, negative A, but still getting involved. I like it. Can't complain.
But like just looking at this Miami roster, if you go back to the Miami roster, like even without these big guys, and this is what they were missing at the beginning of the year, like Kermansky's back, Taylor's good, like they've still got some pieces outside of the big names, and that's what I think when they were all hurt at the beginning of the year, that was the question: could they get through it?
Yeah,
I don't think Kristoff is very good at center back, to be fair. So I think that's a big loss for them. But I mean, it's a really good team, man. I don't know how they've assembled this on MLS contracts, but
they've done
it.
They definitely haven't.
It's real nice when you can sit Luis Suarez and bring in Leo Campana. Like, that's not super fair.
Yeah. But Robert Taylor, I picked him up. I sold him. Do I buy him back? Because he's still like $20. Like if he's getting a starting spot and he can bang like this, it's not bad. Like,
yeah, I just don't know if you can trust him to start every game. That's the problem.
That is the problem. Yes, maybe a limited might be worth it for $2. We'll see. But yeah, all right. So that is all those games from yesterday. We made it through. It only took us 52 minutes, but we made it through. Can you believe it?
So Jono, just rewind, go back after the episode. It's towards the beginning. So
yes,
we went through it pretty in depth.
It was very early. Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah. So any other notes from yesterday's games that you want to point out?
No. Excited to get into this midweek and start really not having a lot of competition. This is where you start to get into, like, you can hit 350 and have a pretty nice reward sometimes when you have these like nobody's playing midweeks, and then 1 or 2 people from MLS just underperform, and it's all of a sudden like that's what everybody played. So
exactly, like if those Miami stacks don't get played, like if they don't start, could mean huge things, because they will dominate.
If they just don't play well. Like, this is MLS. Like, we just saw Lucho Acosta 4 goals and he only had a 45. Like, it happens. So.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, so I can bring this up to start. Last week, my picks were very here and there. So we had 2 guys not start, Malachi Jones and Peltola, which I was hoping they have been good enough to start. They weren't. Malachi Jones looked really good off the bench. Peltola looked really good off the bench. Hopefully they both start next game. Stuver didn't keep a clean sheet. I was hoping for. Still got AA as expected. Waterman, huge game, 94. Love that. Evander, 90. Love to see it. And then Jonathan Rodriguez had an assist disallowed. But yeah, close enough. Plus 17, 2-0-4. But that Waterman game and that Evander game carried it heavy.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, decent. Graph's looking pretty solid, I would say. We only dipped under twice, and this one was barely. So yeah, not bad at all. But now I can go through this upcoming. I got to take this off. this upcoming week's picks. So, Carlos Cornell, Charlotte don't like scoring goals, and if it's not at home, they especially don't like scoring goals. And Cornell's been pretty decent all year. I think he's the highest clean sheet chance, or like, I think he will
I
get clean
don't
sheet
think
more
he's
than
the
anybody.
highest clean sheet chance.
Yeah,
but-
not clean sheet chance, but I think he has the best opportunity to. Home Charlotte, coming off decent AA too, could be pretty good. I would hope. I mean, conceding to New England is definitely questionable, but it's fine. Next up, Mickey Amane. I've loved him since his price went down, and he had a nice game, picking up an assist and was that goal line clearance or last minute ties? That goal line clearance? I think so. Yeah, but yeah, he's been decent AA recently. Gets an assist. He's finally starting to get involved, and they have the Dallas home matchup. Which, sorry, Daniel, but I absolutely love playing against Dallas at home.
There's no Jesus Ferreira.
No Jesus Ferreira too, especially. Have to love it. He's getting cheap. I wanted to pick up a new season. He doesn't have any available besides ones that are being sold for ETH, and I don't have ETH. I only have cash. So please change that if you know who you are. Yeah, good matchups coming up too. So that could be solid for him if you're picking him up, not just for this week. Next, now this is a weird one because I was reading into some stuff, and apparently he was not liked before the beginning of the season. Now the management absolutely loves him. And yeah, Dan, you knew it was going to happen. You knew I was going to have to splash some Dallas matchups.
Former DC man.
Yes, he has been very solid since coming over. And so, goal last game, good AA, 2-0 against the Galaxy. That was a really good game in general for Austin. And he has Portland, who is going to definitely be in the attack. I don't know if they're going to be able to score, though. And I like those matchups. If they're going to be peppered and everything, Stuver's been great. Hindsight hopefully can get involved and keep up what he's been doing over here at Austin. See if I can sort. So yeah, boom, 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 boom. 52 even at home. I think that's pretty solid. But yeah, Hindsight cheap too, under $1. Love to see it. Next up, now I have to choose this, Daniel. Now I get to hate on myself, not just Austin, or not just Dallas. Gould, I would think would smash us this week. 2 straight goals. Obviously, this is a penalty, but still getting AA more and more every week. He's gonna start. He's gonna turn it on soon, and this run of matchups surely means it's gonna be upcoming. This year, bigger AA than we've seen in the past. I mean, he's already going. What is that? 5 goals, 1 assist. He could do that in this game by himself. 5 goals, 1 assist against us. We're gonna get scored on. We like to concede penalties. He's gonna get involved. Yeah, it's not gonna be good. And I think I might slide over to Kansas City for that game and watch him smash us in my prio lineup. But yeah, next up we got Brugman. Now he came back. His price went down a lot. I own him, but I like this. This is promising. Let's take off the sub appearances, the DNPs, and the benches. Last 3 months. 55.5. His AA has been very good. Like, this is solid center mid AA. LA plays super suitable to Sorare scoring. And so people like him, Delgado, Puig, all of them always thrive. And he's got it again. Dallas at home. Hopefully him and Imane can maybe if he gets a decisive, we can look at a pretty big score. And I would like that a lot. Next, forwards. This is where it was very dry. I didn't know what to do. So I went Johnny, because Vancouver doesn't like keeping clean sheets, and I would think he starts. I would hope he starts. His AA has been good last few games. Since coming back, start obviously bad. RSL, the whole team played bad. We were rotated. It didn't really matter. But 20 AA, 6 AA, 12 AA, got a goal too against Austin. He loves a home goal against Vancouver. I don't know if I can sort by it on here, but previously he's been very good against Vancouver, and I like that. He scored a hat trick in 2018 when we were in the parlay kits. That one right behind me, literally, I think was the exact one he was wearing. But yeah, love that. Shout out Johnny Russell, and if he starts, could be looking big. And then I have to do this. This is more for Jorge than anything. Hugo Kuipers has Orlando at home, and if I pick him in my picks and he smashes against Orlando, I don't care if he doesn't do good, but this is setting up for him to score. He's been more involved. Gutierrez has been playing really well. He could legitimately get service this game. Orlando's, they lost McGuire, so their attacking firepower is not going to be as great. He could actually score well here. And his matchups upcoming are
It's
decent.
not a
Like
bad show.
LA at home, Toronto's been iffy defending wise, and then Orlando again. Kuipers, I really hope he scores. That'd be so awesome. Because I don't know if he's gonna watch this. So whenever we have the next shenanigans and we're going over my picks, and he sees that I had him in there, that's all. That's all this is for. This is leading up to that. So anybody who's watching, this is why I picked him. But also he could score. But yeah, here's everybody. What do you think? Any notes?
I mean, I just don't like Heidzike as a player in general. I don't think it's a bad matchup, but it's just he's overrated. And that's not me being a spurned DC fan at all.
Is it?
The rest of them are all good. Definitely agree with all those. So I think Cornell is a really good option against Charlotte. I think there's one better option, but I'll save that for
you'll need that for guess the decisives.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the picks. One more time, you can see. Let's see how I did pricing wise. I always try to keep it under 15 average. Yep, 12, pretty good. I think that Hindsight definitely drove it down. But yeah,
it did.
For sure. And Russell's $3. That's kind of crazy. His limited, I think, or his rare, I think, is $20. So if you need a forward that can get AA, him and Paul Ariel are your guys. 25. Oh, someone bought him. There you go. All right, so let us go on to these upcoming matchups. Starting off with your boys, DC United. This is away, right? They're at Montreal.
Yep.
So what are we thinking? I'll let you take this.
Dear Lord, just I don't know. I don't have a lot of confidence, to be fair. They didn't play very well against Chicago. There could be a rotation. I mean, it's a midweek game. You never know. So I don't know. We'll just have to see what the lineup kind of is when it comes out. I mean, you'd think this would be a pretty okay matchup, but it is away. So we'll see. I don't think they had a ton of energy this week. They're not particularly good on the road. So, I mean, this is definitely a chance for Montreal. But Montreal is also not very good at home. So.
Yeah, and we also have, hopefully, Pelto is starting this game, I would think, if there is to be rotation.
Potentially, but they could also just... I mean, Birnbaum just came back, so they may not want to rotate him back out yet. And then you got Bartlett and the third center back. I forget who the third center back is, but Pelto is basically the fourth center back at this point, which is insane. That again, so Donovan Pines was the fourth center back and the three back for so long, and Donovan Pines was always like so rare god, but never was reliable enough to play, and now Peltola is kind of getting into that role, even though Peltola is really a defensive mid, and they haven't figured that out yet. But
yeah,
it's okay.
But yeah, out of this, I know Bono had to get checked for concussion mid-game. From what I was watching, he's good, right?
He should be good. He finished the game.
Perfect. And then on the other side, Victor Wembanyama, or not Wembanyama, Wanyama, is that real? He could be playing. Has he been?
Yeah. Has he been hurt? No, he just kind of out of the team.
Interesting. That'd be cool. I forgot he was still in the MLS.
Yeah, I did too, to be fair.
Yeah, and then I believe Waterman is out, yellow card accumulation. But yeah.
Well, he can't get sent off, you know?
True. He already got sent off collectively. Do y'all know any websites that rank? I think I looked up like MLS remaining strength of schedule 2024 on Google, and there's a website that has it. I think RotoWire has something as well. But that is a subscription, so I think you do have to pay for, and it's like a cheat sheet. It's OP. If you want like any MLS info, that's probably the way to go. Are you pulling something up?
I'm just looking real quick.
Okay. But yeah. Well, I'll move on while you're checking. I'll move on to the next game. Score prediction in this. I'm gonna go 2-2. I think Benteke does something for y'all this game. This is one of those.
Yeah, he hasn't scored in 2 games, so he needs to get going a little bit now.
Yep, and no Waterman, who's going to win duels?
Yeah,
or he's going to challenge duels.
Campbell's pretty good, to be fair. I think they'll have Campbell on Benteke for most of the game, and Corbo's not bad.
Yep.
I'll take I don't know. I guess I'll take 2-1 us. But I don't feel good about it.
Yeah, that's. I mean, you got to choose yourself to win, right? But yeah,
You
I
don't
think
have to.
y'all will definitely compete in this game and definitely could win.
We
Montreal's
should
questionable.
win. We're the better team, but like we're just not playing very well right now.
That is true. Next, Red Bulls at home against Charlotte. This
Red
was
Bull's
my
trash.
Yeah, Red Bulls have been very questionable recently. They did show against y'all that maybe they are pretty good still. But then again, they're at home. Charlotte doesn't like playing away. I don't know if you have the form sheet up or whatever, but if you look at their uh, away matchups, they don't score goals at all. I don't think they win at all either. I don't think they have one away. But yeah, this should be a Red Bulls win, clean sheet. I'm gonna go 2-0. I don't see anything that stands out really. Is that
I think it's closer. I think it's low scoring. Maybe like 1-1, 2-1, something like that. I think Charlotte probably will score at least one goal, to be fair, because we all
Yeah.
expect them to get a clean sheet, and that's when you don't get a clean sheet.
That is true.
So I don't know. We'll see, but New York should win? Question mark.
Maybe.
New York's just trash, though. They're garbage. They're so
Come on,
bad.
dude. It's okay. Maybe you guys you'll beat him next.
No,
time.
they're legitimately like we should have won that game. I know we lost 4-1, but like we had a higher XG than they did. Like we literally should have won the game.
Again, if the MLS was based on XG, y'all would be 15-time MLS Cup champions.
Well, we're literally in first right now in XG.
Exactly.
And then NYC crushed New York after that, so I felt vindicated somewhat.
Mm-hmm.
Philly, Toronto.
This game is a lot more lopsided than I think it will be. On paper, like the way that people are putting it, like look at all those AAAs for Philly. I don't know. I think Toronto could definitely do something. I can finally stack Bernadeschi, Insigne, Flores, and I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Toronto does very well in this game. Toronto doesn't have a good defense, guys. Like,
oh no, they're gonna get peppered, but their attack could do decent.
Carranza, Gazdag, Kai Wagner, like the guys that go forward, even Harriel, the guys that go forward, Jack McGlynn. Where's Jack McGlynn? Is he not on here?
I think he got called up to Olympic prelim squad, right?
Are we at that point now where they're not in the team anymore?
Yeah, he's healthy. Yeah, probably. I would assume. Yeah, 50 bench, 50 start. Interesting.
Yeah, he's not getting benched if he's here. I mean, maybe rotating, but yeah, he's not getting benched.
Shemley, though,
like their best player.
That's kind of definitely questionable. I don't know what to think. And then, yeah, shoulda, woulda, coulda, didn't. That's DC United season. That's what
I'm just telling you. Red Bulls are trash. That's all I'm telling you. They're gonna lose in the first round of the playoffs again, just like they always do.
Probably. Yeah, but yeah, I think I see Philly 3-1, 3-2. I think Toronto gets on the score sheet. I don't know.
For sure. Yeah, I don't think this is a shutout.
Yeah, and I think hopefully Insigne. I'm going to pair Insigne, Bernadeschi, Flores, and just hope. Even though Martinez might, just bottle Flores. We'll see.
I don't know if Flores is a good option in this game.
You don't think so?
To be fair. Yeah, I don't think. He does really well when it's like one creative force that he can just stay around, but like there isn't really that in this team. So,
dude, Gazdag. If he gets a pen, he could shadow him on the pen.
But like, there's no one spot where like Carlos Heel for the Revolution, like that's where the ball's coming from. So Flores knows to shadow him.
Yep.
Whereas Philly is not like that. Philly has multiple options that aren't quite as good, but yeah, that's the point.
Yes. Here we go. We got a question here. What do you guys think is what collection do you guys think is a good one to buy? I was thinking Toronto or Galaxy. I have a Toronto and a NYCFC stack that is not or like collection that isn't sporting. And I like that. I like NYCFC the most out of what I have. What do you think?
I also have an NYC stack. I don't love it, to be fair. I don't think they have a good forward.
That is true, yeah.
And their defenders, I mean, Tavon Gray is good, but he's also only had 2 good games, and he's never traditionally been like a powerhouse. I mean, I think Columbus, you got to take a real look at Columbus because they got dudes on that team.
Yeah. Columbus is definitely the best, but it is expensive.
Cincy, Miami, Toronto's is a decent shout.
Toronto's nice, especially if they can start keeping clean sheets. The thing is you got to wait for Richie Laryea to come back if you want a defender option. None of these guys are going to cut it. Retread is the best, and he's not that great.
Right. If you want a full stack, yeah, that's true.
And then Jonah says Portland. I don't know if there's enough clean sheets in that.
Yeah, Mascara's not terrible. Like he throws 60s even when they suck sometimes. But yeah, to be fair, I don't think Portland defensively is any good at all.
Yeah.
Seattle maybe.
Seattle definitely, especially if we get to August. Yeah,
they could be in that conversation. Colorado could be in that conversation to some degree. Zach Steffen and the defense hasn't really been good enough, but
they had some lockup games though. If you look at like Steffen has a couple clean sheets in games that we weren't expecting them to get a clean sheet. I'll pull it up because I think he got a clean sheet against Vancouver. Yeah, 1-0 against Vancouver, and pair him with Bombita or Vines. That's pretty nice.
So this is gonna sound crazy. What about Atlanta? I mean, I know the vibes are bad, but the prices are all dirt cheap too. And
yeah, Almada.
If you look at this is, I think, really telling as far as like who's good and who's not. Like Montreal and Colorado or Chicago are terrible. Like Atlanta's a 0. That's the same as Toronto. Like
Almada is also $36 old season.
Like I don't know. I feel like Atlanta. Maybe. Let's see. I mean, Brooks Lennon is really good. That's the thing. You want guys that are kind of down a little bit, but like Brooks has proven he can be elite in this league. Yeah. Almada's proven he can be elite in this league.
Josh Cohen has not proven anything yet.
Cohen has not proven anything. If Giacomakis is ever back alive.
But he might be going to Cruz Azul.
Right.
And then Sleece would be your or Slish, I don't know how you say it, but he would be your bonus, right? He'd be your extra guy.
Yep. So I don't know. Maybe just something to think about.
Yeah.
Because they're very down right now, and I don't think that's as bad as they currently seem.
Yeah. But yeah. Atlanta, not a horrible shout, but it's not bad. Almada's kind of cheap for what he was at the beginning of the season. Very cheap. I think
he's U23 too.
Exactly. Look at that. Look at that drop off. And he didn't get called up to Copa, right? I don't think he did. We went over that on Thursday. Yeah, he did not. But yeah, where were we? We were talking about Philly, Toronto. I said 3-1. What do you think?
I honestly have no idea. I'll say 2-0 Philly.
Yeah, Philly will win this game. Should be somewhat easy.
I honestly don't know that that's true. Like Toronto is also pretty good,
I guess, but they leak goals. Next, speaking of your boys, Atlanta headed over to Miami. I don't know if that that lineup prediction's right, but it will be interesting to see. Oh, is Gigi staying as yeah, because the Mexico rumors and everything. Yeah, he's definitely his floor is definitely gonna go down. It will be interesting to see what happens, though.
To be fair, I think there's a better chance he leaves than stays.
Oh, and also, did you just read his comment and take it? Atlanta win all bit.
I did not actually. That's a good one.
But yeah, in this game, Miami will be interesting to see how they come out. I would think they're back at home. Messi, Suarez, we get them back. Busquets too. It'll be interesting. Atlanta, this is going to be Josh Cohen, not Guzan. Almada will probably start. We'll get a jersey swap at the end of the game, and that's all that matters. I got 3-0, 2-0 Miami. I don't see Atlanta scoring in this game.
I'll say 2-1 Miami. I think it's a little closer, but I do think Miami's just flat out gonna win.
Yeah, and it depends on if these two play, but even if they don't, we'll probably see Miami win. They're at home. They don't really.
Yeah, we'll still see Campagna and Kermansky in front instead of those two. It's still it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So yeah. Next up we have This is gonna be a fun one. I don't know about crazy, but Cincinnati, Nashville. This is in Cincinnati. Cincinnati doesn't like to lose at home.
They don't like to lose anywhere, to be fair.
Yeah, especially at home though. Last year it took them a long time. So let's see. What's the situation with Miazga? Is that yellow card accumulation? No, he didn't get one in here. I don't know why he's not projected starting, and I don't know why Miles Robinson's projected bench. Have we seen something maybe that's
Is it US related?
Because he took the red on purpose? Yes, he didn't want to tank his L15. That's exactly why he didn't want. He wanted Josh Cohen to get peppered so he doesn't lose his job. It's tactical. Guzan's big head is really being put to use. But yeah, Nashville looked decent recently with the head coach being fired. They looked solid. Willis has kept a couple clean sheets. I believe 2 in a row, if I remember right. 2 in the last 3 games. But besides that, yeah, Cincinnati's definitely got this game. Lucho will probably make up for missing all those decisives and get 5 decisives in this game.
I don't know about 5.
Yeah, Surge. Yeah, we'll probably get like a goal line clearance from Zimmerman. This is one of those games where it's like 3-0 domination. Corey Baird comes off the bench and scores. Yeah,
I could see this being like a 2-0 Cincy, but like the Nashville defenders putting up massive numbers just because they're under so much pressure the whole game.
That definitely could be the case.
Like I'm starting Zimmerman for sure, and maybe Maher too. To be fair,
I don't know about Mayer, but Zimmerman. I need a defender to pair with Willis. I think he might be my guy.
Yeah,
he
has to be.
Yep, I think I'll pick one up after the show. But yeah, I'm gonna go 2-0 Cincy is my prediction. Lucho Magic.
Yep.
Next up, we can talk about my guys. We are back at home, and we've got Vancouver Sporting back at home against Vancouver. We're gonna have no Memo in this game, no Eric Tommy in this game, and it will be interesting what lineup we come out with. I'm very intrigued to see what we're gonna do. Over on this side, I think the attack stays the same. Whatever happens back here happens back here. They switch it up so much. I don't even know. These two stay. Everybody else is interchanged. Felipe Hernandez looked really good in the Open Cup at the game I got to go to, and I'm excited to see him start, but in the defensive role might be a little bit worse than expected. Besides that, yeah, I probably go 3-2 Vancouver. 3-1, 3-2. 3-2, 3-1. 3-1 Vancouver, because we won't have Tommy or Memo. It'll be interesting. I think Polito will probably get another assist because he doesn't like scoring goals. He just likes tapping it off to people. But yeah.
I'll take. You know what? I'm gonna take 2-1 Sporting.
I hope that's the case. I really hope we get a win. But
I think like at some point teams are just due, and I don't think Vancouver's playing that well. So at home, I think Sporting will get something done in this game.
I hope so. Even with the injuries, I hope so. I hope we.
They can't give up 3 goals every single game. You know, like it's just not going to happen.
Have Maher to go with those. He's definitely a better floor scorer, but peaks for Zimmerman are probably going to be a lot higher. But yeah, Maher's definitely a decent option. I'm just hating.
Maher is a poor man's Zimmerman. Like let's be
honest. Yeah, exactly. But yeah,
right now Zimmerman is not expensive. The only reason to have Maher is because Zimmerman is too expensive, but he's not
also
right now.
Found out recently Bendik is on their roster. I did not realize that was the case. Yeah. But he's on their payroll. Very interesting.
Bounced around a lot.
Yes, I did not know that's where he was though. But yeah, Memo's been crazy. DNP or yellow card accumulation. He just loves getting yellow cards, so we will not see him this week. But yeah, next up. There's not as many games this midweek too. We're about halfway through. We got Colorado headed to Houston. Houston at home. It's a hard team to beat.
Crazy. Colorado's good though. Colorado's really good.
I'm excited to see what Hector and Artur do against that midfield for Colorado.
Yeah, that's going to be where the game is won. Is it Bassett or is it Herrera? Or Bassett and Georgie versus Artur and Herrera.
Yeah, and I think we could also see Ronan. He's been subbing. He played the entire second half.
Has he? Yeah. Oh my God! Don't say that live. I got to get one before we say that live.
$3. Oh, the rares are gone. Sorry.
Oh man, I can't spell.
Connor. I'll take it off the screen.
So yeah, I think this would be a really interesting game. It is in Houston, so I mean, I guess you give them this slight edge.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
yeah, to your point, Ronan's played 4 games now as a sub, and he played a whole half in this last game. Might be back.
Definitely could
It
be
might
back.
might be Ronan time.
And if it
Um,
is, rejoice because Ronan's a very good player, Sorare wise and in real life.
yeah, he's got some decent AA, and he's definitely got potential for decisive. So
And
yeah,
he is
he's
on
big dog.
some sets. Is that right?
I don't know. Have him and Georgie actually played together? Like they played like 3 games together. So I don't know if we know that for sure.
It'll be interesting. Yeah. But yeah, I got Houston 1-1 tie. Defensive. I don't know if Houston's good enough to. I think they balance out. Attack over here is as good as defense over here. Attack over here is as good as defense over here. I don't see that this game really being anything special. And I agree. I have my rare Escobar I've been sitting on for a while. I hope he plays as well.
I'll give a slight edge to Houston because they're at home, but like very slight. I think this is a very close game. It could go either way.
Yep. So yeah, next up we have Austin at home against Portland. I love Austin at home. I have my Drusy will be played. I have my Stuver will be played, and I might even buy a Heinzike, dude. But yeah, coming off the win over here, Austin. This is a really interesting game. I don't know what to think about it. What do you think? You give the synopsis.
I don't know. I think Portland's kind of coming. I think they need to figure out their defense. That's been the issue for them. They're just leaking way too many goals, but they're starting to kind of get the train on the track a little bit. This will be probably the biggest test that they've had since they've kind of found form. I could see this being higher scoring.
Yes.
Especially in Austin. Austin likes to score at home. So I could see like a 2-2, 3-2, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would start Steve in hindsight, to be fair. I don't think there's any chance of a clean sheet.
I don't know. He gets peppered with shots though, and his A will probably be decent. His floor will probably be pretty good. And compared to the other keepers I have,
he'll have a 50, but like he could also give up 3 goals. Like that's very possible in this game.
Compared to the other keepers I have, though, it's he kind of got to play him. Personally, I have to.
Well, if you have to, you have to. But I don't think it's a great matchup.
I'll be fine. It'll be fine, right?
Yeah, the double A matchup, I don't think I agree with that at all.
Yeah, it's probably just because, I mean, he's been on a heater. Like, even against, have they played already? No. But a similar team would be Vancouver.
I mean, LA Galaxy is a similar team. But
yeah, 85. Crazy game. That they played so well.
The only shutouts he has are Houston twice and Vancouver outside of that. And, I mean, neither of those good attacks.
Those are nice scores, though. Those are pretty nice scores. I love him.
If he can keep a clean sheet, yes, but like he won't. So
yeah, probably not. But
yeah, so I think it's a terrible matchup.
I'll go 3-1, 3-1 Austin. Drusy turns it up this game.
I'm gonna do like 2-2.
Yeah, that sounds right. I think that'll be in that range. There'll be a lot of goals for sure. Next up, fun one. If only Jorge was here.
Do not watch this game.
Yeah, this will be absolutely insane. You'll see it'll be 1-0 Kuipers. That's all you got to know.
Don't put yourself through the torture of watching this game. This won't be entertaining. It won't be fun. Just Carlos Terán is going to get a red card. I'm willing to almost guarantee it. But
yeah,
it's just not going to be a fun game.
This is legit the expression that you will feel after watching this game.
Yes.
You'll be like, damn it, I just wasted 2 hours of my life watching this.
Yeah. Could have been watching something else. Don't put yourself through that.
Yeah. You could have been watching this next game, which could be a lot interesting. And we're not gonna spend any more time on that boring game.
Yes. Agreed.
LA, Dallas.
In LA.
In LA, probably LA. A lot of goals, a lot of fireworks. Puig doing his thing, hopefully. Bergman doing his thing, especially. And Joveljic probably hope. What do you think his chance of scoring is?
If there's no Jesus Ferreira in this game, I think the LA Galaxy stack rules the night. I think this is the most lopsided of the games. outside of maybe Cincy.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is not going to be pretty if Jesus Ferreira is not in there.
Now, question is, do I play Cleach or do I play Brugman?
Probably Brugman, to be fair.
Okay, so I'll stack then. And now we'll get to it in a second. I'll ask that question, but I'm going to go 4-1 LA.
You're like 2-0 LA.
Yeah, I think this will be. I think if
Dallas
this is
isn't terrible defensively.
It's mostly pause though, isn't it?
As one of the worst teams in the league, they have a pretty good defense.
Yeah, pause has been.
They've given up 20 goals in 13 games, which if you look, like, that's the lowest of any team not in the playoffs except Atlanta. So, yeah,
like 2 clean sheets this year, 3 clean sheets this year, and pause has been doing pause things. You know, obviously conceding 3 because it's Dallas, but then again, when he's making saves, he's making saves. And that Open Cup game made me a believer. I went out and bought.
He's under a lot of pressure all the time. He is one of the better goalkeepers in the league, talent-wise, for sure.
I said he was top 5 talent for sure. I picked one up. That after the Open Cup game, I picked one up. He's fantastic. But yeah,
who are the top 5 goalkeepers in the league talent-wise?
Shall we pull it up?
That's a good question, actually.
Okay, I can think him, Schulte, Crepeau, Pool's game's pretty good, but he's not starter. Freeze for sure.
And Celentano needs to be in there.
Yeah, Celentano.
Drake Callender needs to be in there.
Beavers
is not in there. There's no way.
He's decent. I don't know.
He's very young. I don't.
Yeah, he is probably. Brady's a shout. He's pretty good.
Brady is a shout.
Stefan. There's a lot of good keepers. I just don't like.
I don't know if Stefan is. I don't know if Stefan is right now.
Melia about 3 years ago.
Melia's definitely not.
Penalty saving though, he's number 1, not close.
I'd say Freeze, Celentano, Drake, Paz, Crepeau. 5. Chris Brady would be above any of those guys.
I would maybe throw like Schulte above Crepeau currently, but if it would be like last few years,
just on pure talent.
I guess that's true.
Not on like Crepeau's in a terrible situation. So like it's not Sorare scoring. It's just pure like you want a goalkeeper to start your team. I think I'm taking Crepeau over Schulte pretty easily.
That is true. What about Daniel for San Jose?
Ooh, I didn't think about Daniel. I still don't think I would put him in there, to be fair.
Yeah. Who's cheap? Who do I need to get rid of my Steve Clark for?
I don't know. For me, it might be Brady versus Freeze for that 5th spot.
Steve Clark's still $100. Do I get out of Steve Clark and go Sean John?
Yes. Oh, 100%. Steve Clark has like 1, maybe 2 more years left. Sean John, like he's got at least a couple years left if you want.
But Sean John don't be making saves.
Well, Toronto's terrible. But
what about Willis?
I don't trust Willis.
All right.
With what's his face also there.
That is true. Let's move on.
Danico or whatever.
This is probably gonna be match of the night, in my opinion.
Yeah, this will be a real good test for Seattle. Yeah. We're gonna see where they are right now. Because if they hang in this game, I think we can officially declare them back.
Yeah, this is going to be. I mean, I have Fry Rare. I'm going to put him out in my lineup, and I hope that he does not kill those LA performances. But the Real Salt Lake looked pretty bad for about 1 half, and then showed why they are Real Salt Lake and why they are first in the conference in the second half.
They just don't care about being down or anything. Like they just do the things.
Yep, I think this is a Beavers game. I think we see Beavers.
Do you really?
I think we do. Wow. McMath poor performance, and it's a midweek. I think they play him.
Interesting. Okay,
and then
we'll have to definitely keep an eye on that one.
And then because with no Open Cup, they got to get him chances. I think they'll give him the midweek, and then from there we shall see. Is he above $10? Yeah, he is.
That's an interesting one. I think this is a pretty defensive game, to be fair. I think this is like 1-0 one way or the other. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or maybe like a 1-1. But
I hope a lot of AA. I think it'll be like what was the one? Dallas versus St. Louis, straight offense, but defense or not offense, like straight shots on goal and just defenders making saves or not defenders making plays and keepers making saves. That'd be my guess. I hope that's what it is. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'll go 1-0 Salt Lake in this one.
I'll go 1-0 Seattle.
I hope
I think they might be back. I think they might be back. Rusnak revenge game. Here we go.
They did also almost concede like multiple times at the end. They almost let Berkey score on them at the end of the last game.
True. I don't think they're fully back yet.
But yeah,
but
final game. This one will be good
hang.
too. LAFC hosting a very elite Minnesota team that choked a lead but still look really good. My question to you is load or cliche now?
For this game, cliche. Cliche has a way better matchup. LAFC on the road is really tough.
Okay.
There are 3 teams with 4 or more road wins this year. Miami, Cincinnati, and Minnesota. Minnesota is one of the best teams on the road this year. They've also only played 13 games, so like 4 away wins is also even more impressive.
Yeah.
Like all they have to do is win 2 and they're in the same category as those guys. But LAFC also undefeated at home, only even 2 draws in 7 home games. So this is a heavyweight fight. This is a playoff game. So this will be fun to watch.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 2-1 Minnesota.
I'm gonna go 1-0 LAFC.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be a close one no matter what, and it will be interesting. I'm excited to see what Minnesota rolls with in this game because a lot of good. Like Oluwaseyi's been great. Song Bin had 2 goals. It's gonna be weird, but it's gonna be good. But now, I know you haven't prepared one bit for it. We can look at last week really quick, and someone finally dethroned me as top scorer. Jorge had Cole Bassett, so good on him for that. I skunked out. Benteke somehow didn't score. Santi somehow.
Are you gonna put your screen up?
Oh, you're right. Santi somehow didn't get decisive, but hit at 80. Stuver did well. Benteke, I don't know how.
Yeah. You got pretty unlucky. I mean, goalkeepers, like just nobody's.
Yeah, it's going to be almost impossible to be able to do that. But yeah. Now we gotta guess the decisive. So I believe
So I go first, right?
You are up first, and I'm last.
So it's the last 2 weeks, right?
Yes, I'll show you 1 second. Let me get these up. But yeah, all right. So
Jorge doesn't get picks.
Well, I put you on there no matter what. But yeah,
there's
who you can pick.
So I can't pick Celentano or Galese. I can't pick Chicho, Suarez, Insigne, Evander, Espinoza, and Heel. Damn, it's a lot of good players. Okay, so goalkeeper.
You said there was someone that you thought was better, and I'm
there was. I am going to take Cornell, though.
All right. Perfect.
I'll tell you after you pick yours why I said that.
Should we just give them all Orlando?
Nah. No, I don't want him getting any points.
Yeah, just in case.
Yeah.
Well, out of these guys, can I pick Cornell too?
No.
I'm just kidding. No, yeah. I don't think I've picked him once this year, so I'll take Celentano.
See, that was my other one. See, I think that's the better one, but I can't pick him because I picked him 2 weeks ago.
Ah, there you go.
So that's the reason why I didn't do that.
All right, definite decisive now. Let's go to these. Check real quick. Interesting. Give me Ricky Pooge. Give me Pooge at home. Dallas.
That's a good matchup.
Yes.
I'd love to see that. Decisive. I'm going to take Lucho.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Oh, not this one. So now,
And goal scorer, I'm gonna take.
be careful with this one.
Yeah, I don't like a lot of these, to be fair. Um, this is a little. Actually, I'm gonna save that one, or I'm gonna try to save it. We'll see if it comes through. Um,
Chop chop.
I don't know. I don't like this game. The one I guess I keep coming back to, and this is probably gonna just completely blow up in my face, but what the hell? I'm gonna take Gazdag.
All right. Well, that's interesting because I'm going to take Carranza. Yeah.
Neither of us believe in Toronto's defense.
No, I don't think anybody does. But now Peaks, you said you're going to want. There's someone that you're hoping comes back to you.
Yeah.
Which intrigues me. I don't know why, but I feel like it's from this game, Houston, Colorado. Yeah. And it's who is it going to be? Because I know it's one of two people. And based on what you were saying earlier, I think it's Hector Herrera. But I'm gonna go Bassett because he's younger.
Interesting.
And I think
I'm gonna go Driussi.
Okay, yeah.
I
hope he does.
Who I wanted. I kind of think he. I don't know. I'm not 100% his score. That's my problem.
Yeah.
I was gonna go. He's gonna score, but then I'm pretty sure he's gonna get decent AA and get a decisive. So I think he's got a good chance at a high number. So
yeah,
we'll see.
And here's the standings currently for anybody that's interested. Per week is also here. So me and Jorge tied per week. I have more points, and all the way down at the bottom, 1.29.
Yeah,
you gotta lock in, dude.
it's rough out here, man.
I know.
I don't know. I'm terrible at goalkeepers, so I don't think do I have any points from goalkeepers this year? Maybe one.
I doubt it. Stuve, no.
I have literally 0 points from goalkeepers this year.
No. Interesting.
That's been it's been my Achilles heel. Always is, always has been. But yeah, it's tough scenes.
Yeah. So that concludes our large wrap up of last week and our look and preview at this upcoming week. Any questions you guys have, leave them in the comments. I'm sure we got to everything though, so it doesn't matter. Any words to leave with, Chris, that you believe should be known?
Enjoy the competitionless midweek. That's like, just take these in. These happen like 3 or 4 times a year, where you get really truly like you're just cooking, you know?
Yeah.
So enjoy this. Don't mess it up. Like don't be too risky on this one, guys. Like really take your time and think about this week. So that's my words of advice to leave you with.
Yes, this is where we eat, and my words to you guys: may the DNP gods be with you.
Yes, big time, because rotations.
Yes. All right.